Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and a stigma. On the news this morning, Miyetti Allah warns herders against grazing on farmland in River State. Ogoni youth protest alleged herdsmen killing. Federal government to withdraw license of firms with dormant oil field. PDP bigwigs seek broad alliance to defeat APC's President Tinubu. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to Gaza ceasefire. I'm Ife Chukwumoyeli with the news. Now, the chairman of Miyetti Allah in River State, Mr. Mohammed Tukur Abubakar, has cautioned members of the association against grazing their cattle on farmland. His warning comes amid rising concerns over herders' activities and the destruction of crops in several communities across the state. Speaking in an interview with correspondent Martha Okere, Mr. Tukur Abubakar said any herders whose cattle stray into a farm should compensate the affected farmer. Now, he also urged both farmers and herders to avoid taking the law into their own hands. The Miyetti Allah chairman also disclosed plans to convene a meeting this weekend to address a series of reported clashes linked to cattle grazing in Tai and Eleme local government areas. He further clarified that the association works with cattle rearers and not herdsmen. According to him, the term herdsman has become associated with terrorists. Now, on Tuesday, scores of Ogoni youth marched to the government house over alleged killings by suspected herdsmen in the area. They also marched to the River State Police Command and the Department of State Services. Leading the protest, Mr. Oscar Xavier Mabe expressed concern that no arrests have been made in connection with the killing of one Goodluck Dimba in Uwike, Tai local government area. He also outlined other demands relating to the alleged growing activities of suspected herdsmen in Ogoni communities.
We, the concerned citizens of Ogoniland, are compelled to raise our voice against the growing wave of violence and insecurity perpetrated by the herdsmen within our communities. The recent attack in Yokuru, Ebubu, Soko, Weke, which have resulted in the tragic loss of our innocent lives. The communities terrorized our demands. Immediately, we demand the immediate, unconditional departure of all the herdsmen from Ogoniland. We call on the relevant authorities to take swift, decisive action to end the attacks on our communities and to prevent future occurrence. We demand justice for the victims of this brutal assault. Yes.
Now, responding on behalf of the River State Commissioner of Police, the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of operations, ACP Ike Okoro, assured the protesters that the police have already swung into action to ensure justice is served.
We are making all effort to ensure that we arrest these perpetrators. Today, there is operation going in at Agbonchia Forest. As I am talking to you, this operation is still against the killers in River State. So what I'm trying to say is that the CP is making frantic effort to ensure that we nip this problem on board. It's a menace which must be nipped on board. But police cannot do it alone without you. We urge you also to give us information. Without your information, police cannot be everywhere.
Moving on, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lopobiri, has declared an end to the era where oil companies acquire field licenses and leave them dormant. The minister issued a warning at the ongoing 2025 Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week in Abuja in a renewed push to meet its OPEC production quota and 2025 budgetary targets. The government warned that it will no longer tolerate operators lacking the technical and financial capacity to develop oil fields, stressing that such licenses will be withdrawn. It said the government is determined to maximize oil production by ensuring that only serious investors retain access to Nigeria's hydrocarbon resources. Away from that, some residents of Port Harcourt have been recounting their frustrating encounters with local artisans. Speaking to our correspondent, they highlighted how poor workmanship and unprofessional conduct have cost them more than they originally budgeted for.
That day, I didn't even know what to do to her. Is it to shout? After shouting, I will not collect my clothes. Is it to carry one of her sewing material? If I carry it, will it make me wear the clothes? I left the clothes for her. I just went and entered bus and started traveling. I got to the state and I bought another clothes.
Right from the day he delivered these tools, I was not around though. When I came back, the stool was shaking, as in from day one. We called this man to come and fix the stool, to do something about it. He didn't come. He has not done the generator house, so weeks turned to months. This man did not come. So I had to gently use my hands to buy zinc, do the generator house myself.
Now, a number of drivers shared their ordeals with mechanics, citing issues ranging from inflated charges for spare parts to a disturbing lack of knowledge about repairing various car brands.
I called a mechanic to evaluate the car. He told me that my engine has knocked and an estimated 710,000. Fortunately for me, I spoke about it to one of my friends who referred me to another mechanic who then came, and then after some diagnosis on the car, Nan told me that it's just a water pump issue. As of then, the water pump cost me 45,000 naira.
I needed my reverse light to be working, so these guys just came around and told me they can fix it. Unknowing that these guys don't really know about the particular brand of car, they did all sorts of connection here and there and there. At the end of the day, they damaged so many things. My brain box got bad. So I went there with a problem that could have been solved with just maybe 3,000, 5,000. I ended up going back home with a bad brain box. Brain box was how much? About 50, 60,000.
Now, on the issue of certification for artisans, one respondent argued that possession of a certificate does not always reflect true competence.
Someone can have certificates and still not be good at what he's doing. I mean, a lot of people do buy certificates online to start with. And some persons might just even go for a program, spend weeks, months, and still not grab something. I think the whole skill thing, it's more of effort than the certificates.
However, an expert from a certifying body in Rivers State, Maxwell Nkaba, explained that while certification bodies exist, there is currently no regulatory authority dedicated to monitoring the activities of individual artisans. Nkaba said the federal government, through the Skills Development and Certification Department of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, oversees and accredits private certifying bodies instead.
There is no body or organization or agency regulating artisans in Nigeria. The only body we have is the Skill Development and Certification Department of Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. What they do is they regulate or accredit skill acquisition training school, meaning that anybody can just wake up and say, I am a mechanic or I'm a painter or a tiler, and just dabble into it. No, there is nobody regulating it. So that's why we are having issues for delivery of jobs and all that, and complaints from job owners.
Now, he stressed the need for a recognized regulatory authority with clear codes of conduct and standardized practices to promote professionalism and accountability among artisans.
If a body is created to regulate artisans, it will help in putting a stop to people messing up with people's jobs. And if the federal government of Nigeria could help in looking into this, create a body under the ministry that will checkmate the activities of artisans, help them, make sure that whoever that says I'm a plumber or I'm an electrician is actually an electrician, has gone through that skill.
He also urged customers to carry out due diligence by asking questions to verify whether artisans are knowledgeable and certified before engaging their services. Away from that, former chairman of the Labour Party in Rivers State, Favour Reuben, is asking the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on Rivers State emergency to further scrutinize the state's 2025 budget. Reuben said this while speaking with correspondent Obi Oruware. He said the House of Representatives members should focus on investigating the issues and not to use the opportunity to collect their share.
Let the world know they should investigate and give all the proper stand and cut that money into sizes. So that what they are trying to do is to swindle the money of Rivers people. And they should not do it because they want to get something from it. They should do it with sincerity of purpose. What we are after is that any amount of money earmarked that is outrageous and saying they are going to do it in government house, they are going to put CCTV camera in government house. Please, we don't want that. We have a lot of CCTV camera in government house.
On her part, the executive director of the Center for Transparency Advocacy, Faith Nwadishi, said budget padding has continued in the country because of the failure of opposition parties.
So, and that's what the opposition party should actually be doing in a democracy. So, if the government in power brings up a budget and say this is what they are going to use, the opposition party should actually have their own budget to show that with less amount of money we could do it better, or even more amount of money, or to argue that usually you don't have that kind of deep analysis and investigation by opposition party. The opposition would have done is to also get an expert that produces CCTV to give them a quotation. And so when you argue on that basis, people will see the alternative.
Still to come, PDP bigwigs seek broad alliance to defeat APC's President Tinubu. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Ugama Ekede, Ayama Ekede, Asukoyet Host Community Development Trust, HCDT, in Andoni local government area of River State, have completed and furnished Asukama Town Hall. It is part of the benefit of the Petroleum Industry Act, BIA. Asukoyet Primary School was also renovated, and scholarships, bursaries were awarded to pupils of Asukoyet Primary School. Now, it is from the statutory 3% operational expenditure contribution from Green Energy International Limited and Leko Oil and Gas Investment Limited joint venture. Commissioning the project, the representative of Green Energy and Leko Oil joint ventures, Senera Dukobo Spiff, thanked the host communities for creating an enabling environment for mutual progress.
It's a great day in the life of the JV because this is a veritable first step in the journey. The JV want to appreciate our host community, the entire foursome community. Your community has been spectacular in its desire to pursue the right thing and achieve progress. We congratulate you for that.
On the spot, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the HCDT, Nathan Samson Asuk, said over 20 similar projects are ongoing, adding that all contractors are members of the 4 host communities.
In addition to educational empowerment initiatives, I am delighted to share that we have over 20 projects underway, some completed, others ongoing. More projects are scheduled for commissioning before the end of the year. As a trust, we have ensured that the people directly feel the benefit of our development. Through our community development plan, jointly met by the communities, development priorities are set based on the actual needs of the people, and all our contractors are drawn from within the communities. Another way of increasing and building the capacity of our people.
Well, away from that, a traditional ruler in Apara Kingdom, Obiakpo local government area of River State, Ezehu Johnson, is congratulating Oha Sergeant Awuse on his emergence as the chairman of the South-South Monarch Forum. A statement read by his spokesman, Chinedum Amadi, the traditional ruler said the emergence of Awuse did not come to him as a surprise because of his leadership qualities. The monarch said he is optimistic that Awuse will use his wealth of experience to pilot the affairs of the traditional institution in the region and make the people proud.
Your appointment did not come to us as a surprise because of your leadership qualities and wealth of experience in piloting the affairs of traditional institutions. We know that you will take the forum, South-South Monarch Forum, to a greater height and make us proud. We wish you God guidance and wisdom to pilot the affairs of the forum. And Mekao, you could Meka.
Ezehu Johnson also prayed to God to guide Awuse to pilot the affairs of the forum throughout his tenure. And now, River State has topped the fatality chart of a new national report on gang violence released by geopolitical research firm SBM Intelligence. Now, according to the report, at least 1,686 people were killed in 909 incidents of gang-related violence across Nigeria between January 2020 and March 2025. River State recorded the highest number of deaths, 215, now followed by Lagos with 197 and Edo with 192, confirming their status as long-standing hotspot for cult and gang rivalries. The report names cult groups such as Vikings, Icelanders, Black Axe, Aye, and Greenlanders as key players in the violence. The South-South region alone accounted for over 750 deaths, largely due to recurring court clashes in Rivers, Delta, and Bayelsa. In the Southwest, more than 491 fatalities were reported, mainly in Lagos and Ogun State, where confrontations between Aye and Eye confraternities persist. Elsewhere, some concerned leaders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Senate President David Mark, have asked Nigerians to join in helping to unseat President Bola Tinubu in 2027. They made a call in Abuja on Tuesday after a closed-door meeting to discuss the state of the PDP and the country. In a communique issued after the meeting, they called on all PDP members and Nigerians to come together in a broad coalition committed to national unity, democratic principles, security, economic recovery, and a strong fight against corruption. The group also accused the All Progressive Congress APC-led federal government of undermining democracy by using state institutions to weaken the opposition. Others at the meeting were former PDP National Chairman Uche Secondus, a former governor of Jigawa State Sule Lamido, a former governor of Niger Babangida Aliyu, former governor of Ebonyi, Sam Igwu, former governor of Sokoto, Aminu Tambuwal, and a former governor of Cross River, Liel Imoke. And now on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions to finalize a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. President Trump said in a post on Truth Social, without detailing what the conditions are, that during the proposed deal, they will work with all parties to end the war.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard Miyetti Allah has warned herders against grazing on farmlands in River State. Ogoni youth protested on Tuesday over alleged herdsman killing. The federal government is to withdraw the licenses of firms with dormant oil fields. PDP bigwigs are seeking broad alliance to defeat APC's President Tinubu. On the foreign scene, you heard US President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to Gaza ceasefire. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Mwanyeli. Many thanks for listening.